Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, welcome to episode 335 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's evading death with me tonight?
I am Joe Butler, and I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Cramble Bramborn.
Hey, it's Joe Larrey, and I gotta tell you, I really need to reconsider my trip to Mordor.
Hello, this is Ron Huntone, and I'm here late at night on a Saturday.
I'm Michael Colby, and I'm sneaking up behind you, and I'm gonna give you a little smooch.
I mean, that's accurate to this game. So, we are here to talk about a game that I probably should talk about last year, because it hit 10 years last year. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Developed by Monolith Production, published by Warner Brothers Asshole Interactive, and came out in 2014.
Oh, what a great game. I wonder if they have any future...
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's partly why was it there. Hey, these are the same guys that made the Fear games. I forgot about that. And Condemned.
And Batman.
They didn't make Batman.
Mad Max?
No, they didn't make Mad Max either.
I think they made one, yeah.
They made
All
Gotham
three of these
City
games.
Imposters,
Oh, I love that
Condemned,
game.
Fear, Contract Jack, whatever the fuck that, 2.0, The Operative, no one lives
Aliens
forever,
vs.
that game that
Predator.
people talk about a lot, that the internet tells me I should play.
Oh, No One Lives Forever. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I've looked up a bunch of stuff about it. It's basically like, hey, do you want like FPS Austin Powers but better? There you go.
Okay, I'm curious about it.
Oh, and yeah, they were doing Wonder Woman. Whoops.
Yup. Yeah. The studio made their last game in 2017 and nothing into that. So,
What was it?
Middle-earth: Shadow of War, then they started Wonder Woman
Yeah.
Oh.
8 years ago, and it's never ended. Man, I bet that Nemesis system would have been cool in a Wonder Woman game, huh?
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I low-key fucking hate the Nemesis system.
I am
don't
right
like it.
there with you.
Stupid.
I think the Nemesis system is the only redeeming quality of this, or else it would have been the most generic open world like action adventure game I've ever played.
I think it should only count towards missions. I think if you go into like a fight and like you're like not really paying attention and an orc shoves like a pipe up your ass and then all of a sudden he's a new captain, I think it's a little shitty.
My only issue with the Nemesis system, and this is a big issue for me, is I don't care that they get upgraded. I don't want to see it. I don't want to go, hey, I'm the guy that killed you. Look at my name, and we're going to stop combat while I shake my sword in your face. Don't you like that? And this whole time I'm talking, I'm just sitting there staring at, like, no, I want to kill you. Like, let's get back to the combat. It was okay, but that part annoyed me that I had to wait. Get upset over dumb things sometimes.
Yeah, the combat the combat is good. The combat is fine, but it's like nothing special. There was nothing special about how this game played. But when an enemy does get upgraded and then like you learn its weaknesses, it's like, oh, this one's afraid of bees, and then you find him and there's like a beehive, and then you shoot that down and then he's like running around and you murder. Like, that was so fun. It's so fun to like exploit, because like upgrade whatever, but like then you learn what they are afraid of and what they're weak to, and then you can exploit that, and that was the thing that makes this game fun. Otherwise you're just playing a mashy open world game, and who cares, because there's a million of those.
I'm not gonna lie to you, there are. I just feel maybe because this is what, Shadow of Mordor, and this one's Shadow of War, right?
This is Shadow of Mordor,
Oh,
then Shadow of
Shadow of
War.
War.
I have heard people say that Shadow of War fixes a lot of issues that I have with this. I say because, as we're probably going to get into it, I quit this game like twice in the past because I kept getting my ass kicked and the whole Nemesis system kept fucking me up, and I should have done what we talked about in the chat, which was just fucking do the main missions until you feel comfortable enough. Because I'm not gonna lie, once I got to the main game, I probably could have went around and because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't beat the game, by the way, because I didn't have time. I say because Doomslayer is laying behind me on my bed wearing lingerie, going, "You haven't played with me in like a week," and I'm like, "Oh, I haven't."
So we should do our memories, which I forgot.
How does
what I
the
did for-
Doomslayer look in lingerie, by the way?
So he's wearing full armor, but he's wearing like one of those lacy like over it. So it's like, yeah, that works.
I'm sure you can find that
It's
picture
working
online
for
or
me.
create that picture online very easily if you really want to.
Yeah.
I now know that AI can do a lot of things thanks to our
No,
Mighty Morphin
we're
Power
not
Rangers
using
tabletop.
AI. We're not generating AI images.
Go to the Discord and send your Doom lingerie images to Joe's Anime Corner in the channel in the Discord.
We should go to memories. I had never played this. I remember hearing that it came out. I remember being interested in it. Be like, oh, I should play that someday. 11 years later, I got to it. It's my history. Joe Butler.
Same concept, like I said earlier. I played this game fucking twice. I've tried playing it twice because this game always used to go on sale for some weird reason. And then someone was like, "Hey, you like Batman, right?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I love Batman." And they're like, "This plays like Magic Batman," to which it does.
It does.
But like I said, I just can't get past the Nemesis system. And finally, like usual, Mike said he needs people for it, and I'm like, I really need an excuse to play that game. So yeah.
And Joseph Larrey.
So my experience with this game is I actually played the PS3 version of this game.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
a different
recommend it. I did not beat that game back then because there is so many technical issues on those old versions. It barely ran. It was also missing missions and areas, I believe. I can't. It's been such a long time since I played it, but that was my experience with this. This is my first time playing, I guess, the real version of the game, I guess.
yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
And Ron.
With this, basically, I played it back when it came out. I remember it being, it was fun. It was decent. It wasn't anything great. And I came time to replay this, and I really enjoyed it this time going through it. At least for the main campaign. And the DLC, I spent a grand total of less than 20 minutes across all of them. They were immediate turnoffs for me.
Sound of it, they were immediate turnoffs for most people. So
Yeah.
And Colby.
In 2014, I had a kid who could take care of themselves. I was working for a dying company, so I wasn't working a lot. And I had a hacked Xbox 360. So I was getting all of my games for like $2 a piece because I had a guy. And I played this game and I played it for about 3 hours. And I said, yeah, this is garbage. And I don't understand what everybody's talking about this, like Shadows of Mordor. It sucks. And then my brother was like, you have to play it on the PlayStation 4. Like, once I got a PlayStation 4, he's like, you got to try Shadows of Mordor. I was like, nah, I played it on 360. I didn't like it. He's like, no, it's completely different on PS4. And I really enjoyed it. When I played it, I do think that I sort of dismissed the combat, but I think the combat's fine. I think it moves really smoothly. I think all of that is fine. But like, there's a lot of games like that are, I don't know, more fun to play. But the Nemesis system really does it for me. Like, I was shocked when I heard that people didn't like the Nemesis system. I think that's I think it's one of the coolest things that's like been done to a video game in a long time, because there's a million games where you just hack and slash on some goblins and who cares? But like, when you see them getting promoted and, you find out more about them and they become not really characters, but like they become sort of characters. And it's like, oh, I'm no longer just slashing orcs. Now I'm like going after a particular orc because we have a history. I think that's awesome.
It's a cool concept. I mean, I like parts of it. I could have done without the cutscene, but one of the biggest faults with this game that I wouldn't have realized it unless, Ron, you said it in the chat and you saved me in this game, is you said, fuck the side mission, just do the main mission, get your ability. And Joseph, you were like, yeah, once you get Bran, the game's fun. Like, I had the same issue. And then you guys made I went, oh, okay, it's just me. And then I kept playing the game and I was like, oh, they're right.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I agree.
It gets, there's something missing until you get Bran. I mean, so I play a lot of open world games for this podcast too. Maybe not for the podcast, but I played a lot of open world games. And I have an issue where I like to do a lot of the side missions before I do the main mission. And you can get away with it in a lot of games. You can get away with Assassin's Creed. You cannot get away with it in here. This is a game where you need to do 16 of the main missions out of 20, or at least 14 or It's somewhere around 14 or 15 when you get the brand ability. You have to do that. That's the
Well,
only. I mean, you need the ability.
Well, yeah, and also there's one ability that in the base game is locked behind. It's normally locked behind an ability that costs like a whole lot of like whatever the coins are. But I was playing it like in the ultimate like PS4 edition, which gives you one of the like weapon runes, which are the upgrades. It just gives you that one early, which unlocks that upgrade, and it makes it so much better. There's a power you can unlock where essentially you get a period of time where you can do the unlimited executions where you just automatically kill orcs.
Oh yeah.
The normal game, it's locked behind a really expensive upgrade, but with like the special edition, they just give you a rune that just unlocks it right away.
Oh.
And that really helps to make the early game a lot more fun.
I did not have that.
Useful.
And I played the PC version, and I have like the Game of the Year version, whatever the fuck. Like with the DLC, I bought it at some random point. But I didn't have that.
No.
Read. I did have epic runes.
You didn't read. It was one of the epic runes. It's the one that look. It's the one that looks like the ability. It's called like it literally says. I think like the runes like gives you this ability without having to buy it or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it makes.
I did have that rune.
Yeah. It makes the early game so much more fun because then
I didn't quit.
Yeah.
It's a great insight spot.
I sometimes think we should communicate more on these episodes before I beat the game. I read it, but I was like, unlocked ability. I'm like, I don't know what this is. There's no explanation, so I didn't. That would have been nice. Because one of my big issues in this game is starting to do all the side missions in the I had to do every tower right away. I have to do that in open world games. That is a click that I have to do. That does not open world stuff must all the towers of any sort must always be recognized. That's just one of my problems.
Well, okay, in this game
on the game.
Well, in this game, because I did all the towers first, but like really, it's very quick and easy to do them in this game. You almost literally just make a straight beeline towards them, and you can unlock them all in under. You can do them all in under half an hour.
See, but I didn't. So, I tried to do the towers, and I was also trying to fight some of the little side missions that pop up, not realizing that these are just infinite amounts of missions that just generate.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just. There was that too. That was like, well, it's an RPG type game, so I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna level up, and I would even just kill random orcs when I saw them because I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I didn't understand. No, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, it's fun once you get a little bit in, and then you're like, oh, I don't need to worry about stealth, and you just run into the middle of an orc camp and start fighting all of them. But that isn't something you do until you're at least a little bit a ways into the game.
You say that, but someone did it right away. Because I just how I play.
I think it's also really funny too as well, Mike. So you're gonna get another kind of knockoff version of this. Everything I think after what's the British one? The British Assassin's Creed.
Unity?
Syndicate.
After Syndicate, right. After Syndicate, they start doing a knockoff. What is it called? Nemesis system, but it's less Nemesis, more just assassin contract. You basically have to kill people to find other people, but the higher people have way better equipment.
Yeah,
okay. I know what you're talking about.
I hate those newer Assassin's Creeds. They suck all of the fun out of Assassin's Creed.
I mean, they're gonna suck all the time out of my life.
I will agree. Yeah, have you played anything past
Rogue? No.
Odyssey? No. What? Not Odyssey. What's the one?
Past Rogue.
We played anything past?
I played through Origins and halfway through Odyssey, and then I played Mirage, which I liked.
Yes, Mirage goes back to the old system, which I heard people were actually thankful for. I want to play Shadows.
Yeah, I played Valhalla, and somehow that game managed to make being a Viking and going on raids boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Valhalla.
I was shocked.
Valhalla also has the really big issue of being a fucking 80-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just
that's before the DLC.
I was just playing it, and they're like,
right.
And they're like, go on a Viking raid. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the fighting was just so monotonous, and just so much nothing was actually happening. I was like, oh, this is real boring, and then I stopped.
Okay.
Enough about Assassin's Creed. Do y'all know a lot about Lord of the Rings lore? Because I sure as fuck don't. Okay.
I used to.
I know.
Are we talking movie or book lore? They're two different things.
He's right.
That's fair.
Well,
I tried to read the Silmarillion. Does that count?
Oh, why would you do that?
I I was stupid and I was read a lot. I've literally
I
read
did that.
a lot.
It's not fun.
No, it wasn't fun. I never finished it.
No.
I was trying to be a published author. That was my goal. That was
Yes.
going to be my path.
Yeah, as somebody who has a copy of
Yeah.
the Silmarillion like on the bookshelf next to me, I think The Hobbit is the only good Lord of the Rings book. I think the movies are way better than those Lord of the Rings books.
The Hobbit is a good fucking book.
The Hobbit
That's a funny thing.
one of the best
That's
books
short.
ever.
Yeah, well, that's I've only actually read The Hobbit. I've tried reading some of the other ones, and Tolkien's style, like it's like you got to be like he'll literally just go off. Like it's the closest I've seen an author just going off on a tangent to something that winds up being completely unrelated to anything else going on.
Mm-hmm.
So are you sure
And
he would have had a podcast that he lived longer in life, huh?
No, I think he would have had like an interior decorating show, and it would just be like him spending 45 minutes talking about a lamp or a chair he bought.
Mm-hmm.
I would totally watch that show. That's the sad part.
Or he would have been one of those YouTube essayists who do like 4-hour videos on one very specific topic.
Yeah.
I watched those.
I mean, like it's not bad. Like I've certainly read worse, but the books, they definitely, at least that, like even The Hobbit, as good as it is, it still drags in spots.
I haven't read in years.
I don't think The Hobbit drags at all. I read it like once a year. It's
I don't
one
remember it
sitting.
didn't drag.
That is a one sitting book for me.
Damn, that's impressive. I should read more. The only thing I ever read has pictures, usually of Batman lately. So
I think
I
I'm
always found it.
I think I'm
Go ahead,
becoming
Joe.
illiterate. I think I'm becoming illiterate. I'm not gonna lie. I should really start reading more.
I was just gonna say, it amazes me that they got 3 movies out of the damn Hobbit book when
Yeah,
that's the
because-
shortest one out of them all.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is they take the best part of that book and they put it in the cold open of the second movie. That's when I
Yeah.
gave up on those movies
Yeah.
all the stuff with Smog.
with the spider.
Yeah, with Sheila,
Yeah.
who to bring it back to the game we're talking about somewhat, in the sequel becomes sexy.
I'm not okay with this. I'm assuming by sexy you mean that it is not a spider wearing a dress.
Well, technically no, because in Shadow of War, Shelob like gives Talion missions, and for some reason, even at the time everyone like knew who Shelob was, they decided to have Shelob like they said it was like an illusion, and it's literally just a sexy lady.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's one of the most bizarre things.
so
Is it like-
this is just fan fiction. This book is, I mean, the story in this game and what sounds like the sequel just sounds like fan fiction.
Yeah, it's canon, maybe?
No.
Get into the this is set in the movie universe from what I can tell.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes more sense.
And like
Yeah.
in Shadow of Mordor, like obviously where it's set, it's kind of, don't think about it too hard, because if you really think about it, like when it takes place, you're like, well, even if you've just seen the movies or understand the basics, you go, well, nothing of importance can actually happen in this game because the entire point of the books and the movies is to deal with Sauron, and you're like, well, you can't kill Sauron in this game because he's too important.
Oh, yeah, that's a big complaint with the final boss fight in this game then.
Yeah. Well, do you mean like the thing with the eye where nothing happens, or the part before that where you for some reason fight all of your nemesis, because that's the real final boss fight?
No, the one where you fight Sauron, where he just
Yeah,
shows
That
up.
was a little weird.
That made no sense.
I mean, I would have rather just fought the random priest guy. 'Cause in the beginning of this game, you're sacrificed with your family for some reason, and then instead of dying, you become a wraith because a wraith.
Oh no!
took your body?
So, well, no. What happens there at the beginning of this game is because essentially, like, the game really revolves around how the one like the wall in that area fell and more or less became part of Mordor, which is another reason why the game can actually do nothing. But that guy in the beginning who kills Talion and his family, he's trying to bind the spirit of Celebrimbor to himself, because Celebrimbor is the one who made the One Ring. But instead, the spirit goes to Talion.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because in order to do the ritual to bind the spirit, there has to be a human sacrifice. But like Celebrimbor still is like a sentient being, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing that." And essentially, the one guy who's doing it, what is he? I can't remember. Like the Hammer or something. I can't remember his exact name. He's the guy with
there's
the
the
hand.
hammer, there's the tower.
The hand and the tower. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and essentially there was like a piece of it where that he didn't have, so he couldn't actually force Celebrimbor to bind to him, and so therefore Celebrimbor was able to bind to Talion, which then meant that Talion was technically prevented from death, but he's actually dead, and
Okay.
then he goes on his revenge quest.
So
Yeah.
in the movies, the Black Gate is run by the orcs, isn't it?
Yeah, and so really what Shadow of Mordor is basically saying, okay, so this is how the Black Gate came to be ran by the orcs.
Okay, because the Black Gate was run by humans until they decided to murder them all.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Like now I understand. I was a little confused. I'm like, I didn't realize I was playing a Game of Thrones game. Like, why are they on a wall? Okay.
Yeah.
I know very little about Game of Thrones,
And-
but I do know that.
Yeah, but also in the game, because they're kind of like, oh, we've watched this for the typical millennia, whatever, and then they're just and it's like, and essentially them taking over the Black Gate is Mordor like rising up and turning into what it becomes
will
as
be.
yeah.
How many years is this set before the movies or before the Lord of the Rings?
30, I think.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay, because Gollum is already lost. Because Gollum has the ring in the Hobbit, right? Then he loses it. It's been a long time.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I swear to God, fucking 90% of the series has fucking issues, and it's pretty much Gollum's fault.
Yeah, I mean, I like Gollum. I like when you're about to kill Gollum, and he's like, "No, don't kill him. He has important things later." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's called plot armor."
Yeah, it is. It is. It
Maybe
really,
not.
like, if you're just like, oh, I know a little bit about Lord of the Rings, you're like, well, Gollum's here, so nothing can actually happen to Gollum because he can't die here, otherwise
die
he
in the
can't
bath.
show up. Yeah. So
I
You know,
did like
it's-
the Gollum missions a lot. I thought that was really fun to have him around and just do the little things with him and like try. I just enjoyed the stuff with Gollum for some reason. I don't know why, and it made me think about that Gollum game that I actually owned that game on Steam.
Gollum can't.
Go play it. Go
I was
play
Gollum
it.
gonna
can't-
say, they
I want to.
needed to make that game. Like they can't kill him because they needed to make that game.
God damn you, Colby! I was
The
gonna say
movie.
that.
Don't forget his movie.
We're getting a movie, aren't we?
Here we are.
but
That's why that animated movie exists, so they didn't lose the rights.
yeah, but it's also funny in this game where Gollum just starts arguing with your ghost, which the whole thing where he can actually talk and see to Celebrimbor to me always seemed weird. Because while I understand that Gollum was tainted by his time with the ring and is obsessive over it, I don't remember anything else mentioning that, like, beyond the longevity that he got, the ring actually did anything for him. So I don't like. I'm like. That's like. I don't remember anywhere Gollum being able to like see the ghosts or anything.
Oh, wait, he can ghost in this? Can you're right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he's talking
I
to
didn't
him.
pay enough
Yeah,
attention
he
to the
directly
story.
talks to him.
Oh, okay. So I didn't tell you I had so many fucking issues with this game from the get-go. Like, I play a lot of games for this podcast. I emulate all the fucking time. And, like, I can accept issues when I'm emulating. I can accept issues when I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. But when I buy a game for, retail, well, I'm not going to play retail price, but when I buy a game, on Steam or something, I expect, it to run. So first, I was trying to download this game on my Steam Deck. It downloads, I get it up, and it keeps crashing on me. It says error. And I'm like, okay, I'll just play it on my PC. So I went to download on my PC, and I had the worst 2 days in my life of ever trying to download a game on Steam. I know it's a first world problem. It literally would download for like 5 minutes, and then the download speed would go away, and my internet would crash. It just happened over 20 times.
That's actually a Steam issue.
But I've never had it happen to me in any other game.
Weird.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
forget
that's
what
only the
it is.
beginning of the issues.
Yeah.
So I get this game to run on Steam Deck because I changed it to Proton. I'm like, okay, because Steam, there's ways you can mess with the operating system and it can run other games better. So I do that. I'm like, all right, and it's working for the most part. And then when I got to a certain point in the game, it just wouldn't, near the end of the game, it just wouldn't run anymore. It just said, nope, you can't go here. You can't go to the Mordor, the last part of the Mordor. You're done. Turn off your game and uninstall it. Would not run. I restarted, tried different things, would not run at all in that last section. We had to go fight the Nemesis and do all that stuff and fight the tower. None of it would work. And almost beat the tower twice while it crashed on me. And I said, fuck this. So finally, at some point, I did get it downloaded from my PC when I just walked away and left it there overnight. And then it finally just found a way to download multiple times. It took a while. And then I had other issues on the PC where it would just forget I was playing with a 360 controller and go, no, you're using mouse and keyboard. I'm like, no, I'm not. Controller didn't get unplugged, nothing. Just said, nah, you're using mouse and keyboard. And it did it mid-fight. Like, I was countering, and all of a sudden the counter icon went from Y to the mouse button. That happened more than once. Then I tried playing the DLC, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the DLC now. And the Xbox 360 controller, it wouldn't recognize it. So I plugged in my fake PS4 controller. And it wouldn't even let me tap in the analog stick. They're like, no, this doesn't work. It works. I've tested them. I did them I'm playing on a ROM. It works. But nope.
Weird.
So I was just like, I had so many fucking issues trying to get this game to
Wait,
work.
Mike, you played this on a fucking ROM?
No. I played the real copy. But I tested my controller on a ROM for Sly 3 for the next game.
Oh, okay.
No, I played it legit. I had this legit on Steam, Epic. No, I own this on like, probably have it on PS3 or 360. I have it on Xbox One or PS4. I own multiple copies.
Yeah, man, you should have just played it on the console. It runs great.
Yeah, I
can't play the console where my ass has to be for 9 hours of the day. Let's just put it that way. Let's just say
yeah, because I already had the Game of the Year edition from a while ago, so like I just had to buy like a couple of the DLCs for real cheap, and then they just downloaded it and I just played it.
Actually,
and it's really all I did.
Mike, you have a PS5, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I played it on PS5.
PS5 is upstairs.
Yeah,
My
is the
ass
PS5
down?
Well, hold on. Is it
and move it?
Oh,
or the other option?
But you've already asked far too much of him.
Yes,
No,
you did.
You have an Ethernet cord for your PS5?
I mean, I have an Ethernet cord that runs throughout my entire house for work. If you're telling me I should unplug the Ethernet cord from my work, I can't do that.
No, you can put an Ethernet cord in the PS5 and then run an Ethernet cord to your laptop, and you can use remote play.
Okay, that might have worked. But also, I wanted to play this to be fair, by the time I gave up on Steam Deck, I was 18, 20 missions in. If you think there was any part of me that wanted to replay through this entire game, I got news for you. Didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't beat those warlords. I got stuck on the one with the shield, and I went, I'm not going to beat this. I have other things to do.
Oh God, the shields are annoying sometimes.
Well, that's why, that's why you want to get the upgrades, because the shields there's a specific thing they want you to do, which I will say they give you a good tutorial for. It does get frustrating though, because they'll show up when you're like surrounded by 20 orcs and you got to deal with them.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, I can definitely see how, especially since they can have issues where like you try to like jump over them and stuff. But
and they throw. Are you talking about the ability where you stun them when you jump over them?
There's that. There's also the one where you have the stun you do that you can turn into a cone effect. Also helps with them.
Okay, I unlocked that when I turned off the game. Okay.
Yeah, or you can also just use your bow and focus and shoot him in the head.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, by the way. Oh God, the bow focusing. That's the way I played this game for a good chunk of it.
Oh no, it's actually like cause like at least where I started to have a lot of fun was like when you start combining that with like because eventually you get abilities where you can use brand to like restore your arrows, and so you can get into this flow where you can like use the bow to like blow up a fire, kill a bunch of them, and then snipe a bunch of other ones, and then the other ones run out, and you build up your combo meter a little bit, and then you brand another one and get some of your arrows back and kill another one, and then like shoot some other ones that are coming in. That's where like the game's combat, like at least for me, just got like really, really fun and interesting, but it takes a while to get to.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, when you said that you didn't really have fun till the brand ability, that helped save this game for me more than you realize.
Yeah, because I think it opens up a lot of different battle options for you at that time. But it just takes so long to get it, and when you get it, you're like, oh, you're almost done with the game. It's like, why did you hold this back this long?
Because they expect you to do all the side content, which really doesn't serve any purpose other than unlock more stuff. I guess. Well, I did get all symbols, whatever those fucking symbols were that you grab when you're 8th. I did get all of them.
Oh yeah, well, because a lot of the side content, what that does is it gives you the coins which you use to unlock the rune slots on your gear, and also unlock your like health and focus upgrades too. But you really don't need that many of those for it to be fine, because all of the cool abilities are just unlocked with the XP. And so yeah, like I said, like I told you, like most of the side content you don't really need to worry about like at all.
No, and that helped me with this game. When you said that, that was helped me be able to enjoy this game more.
You know what?
Yeah.
I will admit that this has that I am sick of, and that this has that it does find that I am sick of that Assassin's Creed has. You never have to switch out any of your fucking weapons in this game. I'm so glad I don't have to sit there and worry about fucking numbers in like an open world game like this.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's very like all of this stuff. I think like the strength of this game is it does have a lot of like Ubisoft open world bullshit in it, but it's all simplified to a point where it doesn't really matter. Like you can steamroll your way through this game. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do all of the stuff that you can do. I steamrolled playing like it was an Arkham game, and I thought that was perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's and then if you're like, oh, I don't want to do the main quest or anything, seriously, the best thing you can do is just go run up to a camp of orcs and start fighting all of them.
Yeah, I'm the type of person when I play one of these games, like an Assassin's Creed game or anything like this, that's what I do. I play through the main mission, and then if I like it enough, I'll go back and clean up the open world stuff. So like hearing, in the group chat where people are like, oh yeah, don't do the side stuff, just do the main mission. I'm like, why wouldn't you do that to begin with? but like, yeah, this is the perfect game for that kind of thing. Like just plow your way through it. And once you get a hang of the combat, I think the combat, like Batman, obviously those Arkham games, the 3 Arkham games are like the standard for that kind of combat. I think this is just underneath that as far as how the combat feels.
Yeah. For me, the big holdback is that all of the really cool depth to it, which like it's been a while since I played the Arkham games, but it feels like this game, once you have everything, has more depth to the combat, but you have to get there first.
Yeah. And that's why, while I'm playing it, by the time I unlocked the stuff, I was already good at the combat. So I'm like, why would I don't need to learn anything new for this game. I'm just going to do what I've been doing, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I do think that that's one of the things that I liked about the Nemesis system too, is because I was just like you said, I would go into a camp of orcs and just slaughter everybody. So having something that was a little bit more interesting combat-wise, who was a little bit stronger, maybe had a shield, had a weakness, had a strength, had other slightly stronger like guards around them sometimes. Like that was all like, okay, cool. Here's something that I'm going to have to actually work to beat instead of just like laying waste to a camp.
Yeah, and also like I thought it was actually because I get that it definitely was a little bit annoying when you'd be in the middle of a fight and then a captain would wander in and it'd play that little cutscene. But I did think it was neat where those guys could just show up, and it was kind of funny when if you kill one, they can sometimes come back.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of that. Just I don't know. I think I was just getting mad. There's one orc I literally killed 5 times.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know they come back.
Yeah, they can come back and they get like new weaknesses or different strengths or whatnot. It's usually just additions.
They don't necessarily come back. You could have gone through the whole thing without having any of them come back. It's random, just like everything else.
Okay, considering at a certain point I avoided everybody. Yeah, I probably didn't.
I have a video to send you then, Mike, because this dude talks. It always goes to the thing where I think I have bad RNG. I have a really bad time playing like Hades games while my husband whoops absolute ass, or maybe I'm just bad at builds. Who knows? Balatro is really hard. Anyways, there's a video.
Wolf are a different creature, so
yeah. Well, anyways, this dude has a video of him running into the same fucking orc 5 fucking times in this game, and he has the same. Yeah, he has the same marks where he kills him. So if he cuts him in his face, he comes back with a big face scar and shit like that. It's
okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't pay attention.
crazy.
I had one orc that came back for me. It was 4 or 5 times. Because by the time I had finally killed him for the last time, he for his strengths, he was invulnerable to combat, stealth, and ranged, and you had to. Yeah, and you had to exploit a weakness so that his invulnerabilities didn't apply. Then you could fight him.
Yeah, that
Wow,
rules.
that's some bullshit.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I
Yeah,
would
and in
not
fact,
have liked it.
he wound up being my nemesis at the end that I had to fight. He made a big speech, and then I killed him.
I mean, there
Awesome.
were
That was-
cool
that was
parts
kinda-
like sticking Craigmores on enemies and getting the bees over and starting fires. I mean, once I got the hang of this game near the end, I mean, I was having fun when my Steam Deck didn't crash on me or my PC didn't forget what controller I was using and had to completely close out. I was having fun.
Yeah, like oh yeah, like once I got into it, because I did. It took me a little bit to reacquaint with the combat and like how the timings work. But once I did, it got a lot of fun. And you unlock, like I said, you unlock a couple abilities, and it gets pretty good. But yeah, all that weird like what's even more like even more weird is all those weird side abilities like riding the Cazadors and the Beast. They make such a big deal out of them, and they're just completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
I think I
don't do
wrote
'em.
Yeah.
something twice.
The only time I ever wrote anything was during the missions in which they showed me how to do it. After that, I did not interact with that at all, and I
One.
didn't feel like I missed out on anything.
I had to ride a little Craigmore, those little like the early mount, the regular mount that you see them riding, because there was a fucking orc that killed me twice. That was his weakness, and he had a fucking shield. He had people. I could not get him, and I had to get for one reason or another. I don't know if it was for a mission, if I was just irritated, but I finally killed him I went tracked down one of those and rode it to him and just ate him. Because he was terrified and he just died instantly from it. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yep.
So, yeah, there was that.
I love when they're scared of stuff. It's really funny.
It is
It's-
funny.
Yeah, like when you go into a camp and there's like sometimes because they say it's, procedurally generated or whatever, but there are sometimes like there were 2 instances where like I would go into a camp and it would be like one of the ruined camps where you're just like climbing around on like broken walls and stuff. And they're like, oh, here's the captain and he's afraid of bees. And there was like off of every little overhang, just beehive. And I'm like, I feel like this game wanted me to have fun more than most procedurally generated things. It felt like I think my thing is a lot of open worlds don't have anything interesting.
That's
and they want you to suffer. This one felt like, with the Nemesis system and all of that other stuff, just orc camps and the way that the world is set up. It's like, here you go, have some fun. This is a Lord of the Rings story. So it's serious, but the world lets you loosen up a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
I can vibe with that. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Where it's just and also as one of you guys mentioned, like it's very streamlined. And while it is annoying that some abilities are held back, it's not like it takes you 20 hours to unlock everything. It's more like, hey, you spend a few hours just kind of mainlining some stuff, and you'll unlock basically all of the major abilities. And then you can just go do whatever if you want to.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's how I play all of these games. I always mainline the story first.
I can't
because I know that Mike likes to be overpowered for the story. I like to be overpowered to do the open world stuff because that stuff takes longer. So I would rather blow my way through that stuff being overpowered from beating the final boss of the game than having to like grind my character up. Because I mean, this game, like I said, especially, it wasn't that many levels. Like, it's hard in the beginning, but once you get the hang of the combat and have the combat leveled up even a little bit, I was like blowing through this game. I think
it's not hard. You're right. Once you get them, it's not hard.
Yeah, every once in a while, there is a camp where there's maybe 5 more orcs than you can comfortably handle, but that's not very often.
It just depends on how you approach it. One of the issues was I let an alarm go off, and it was early on in the game when I was still learning how the game played. And it felt like the orcs would never end, and I couldn't kill them because in order for me to kill them, I had to get off the stab ability because my normal attacks just weren't doing the job because there were just so many of them. And I remember getting irritated.
But it's also really easy to lose them. Like they're really dumb.
Yeah.
The AI in this game is dumb as
But I wasn't trying to lose them. I was trying to kill every single one of them.
Oh well, see,
Well,
that's
I know that was the issue.
Yeah.
No, I figured out. I was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, and then I just left.
Yeah, and also like the flow of the combat too. Your individual attacks don't deal that much damage, but the point is it's supposed to build up your combat meter or your combo meter. So then you can start doing so you can start doing the special like executions. And
Yes.
so that's kind of the flow you want to get into. And that's part of the upgrades too, because there's upgrades where you can do more than one and also prevent a hit from breaking you out of your combo. And then you very quickly start like you go in and you start fighting and you just like and you hit your combo super fast and then you're just executing orcs left and right.
I think
And it's a lot of fun.
I think some of the ones that I think really saved my ass towards like the end too was it wasn't the I think it was the one where you can if you hit 8 combos you kill. That one was really fun to get, but also the ground elimination one that's faster too. That one also really helped as well.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them, and like I said, and then once you start like using the bow, because with the bow and focus, the headshots are auto kills. Like it's like the game really pushes you to just kind of combine everything, and once you start doing that, then it's like oh, like I literally got to a point where I'd get surrounded by 20 or 30 orcs, and I'd wind up killing them all in about 5 or 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
I mean, it did get fun later. Like Joe, this game is not the combat is not fun. You get to a certain point, and then because it's all locked behind main missions, and then it starts getting fun.
Yeah, no, I had a good time for the most part with this too as well. I can also see why, like, I want to say to admit it, the Nemesis system isn't my cup of tea, but I do see why people enjoy it.
I do too.
It's the same reason why I stay away from Dark Souls. I do have some dumped fingers.
Dark Souls is that's a taste, wonderful, amazing taste, but that's a taste. I mean, trust me, you don't know how many times I think about putting Dark Souls 1 or 2 or 3 on this podcast and haven't done it yet. You have no idea.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
No. I get obsessed. Obsessed with those games. There's nothing.
Hey, Mike, games my mom found is now level by level Dark Souls. We'll go through each Dark Souls game. That's the next year.
I mean, I have listened to a podcast like that before, but no Bonfire Side Chat.
It's an all Dark Souls podcast. That's what games my mom found is now.
No.
All Dark Souls, including an episode all about dual wielding cestus and punching everything. It's the best.
I mean, that's too. I mean, hey, you know what? There are times that if I had a show that was particularly just one topic, I might have more listeners. But I really enjoyed what this show has become, where it's just you get 3 to 4 random shit every week. You don't know what you're gonna get because I don't announce it ahead of time. So yeah, that's what I prefer. So there are things with like I did get in the hang of this game. Like I did the story I could care less about. I do want to say that once you get to the second zone, the game looks a lot prettier, and I forgot how much I missed grass. Did not realize that. I was like, oh, this is nice. It's green.
Yeah.
Well,
the environments are good looking in this game. Even the dark ones.
That's just 360 games, Mike.
I know.
I can't wait till we cover Resident Evil 5.
We were supposed to do that this year, and we're not. Even though people are like, "Well, what did you do?" Yeah, the schedule's written. Not happening this year.
Damn, I love my
Resident Evil 5
game.
or Evil Within. I chose Evil Within for the schedule.
That's fair. Also, dibs.
So
yeah, Evil Within is so much better than Resident Evil 5.
I just don't want to do it.
Evil Within
2 is amazing.
Evil Within is amazing. Evil Within 2 is amazing.
Yeah.
Evil Within was supposed to be on this podcast back in 2020. It didn't happen for reasons. So I have a problem where something was almost on the schedule and I took it off for one reason or another that I do not care to discuss. I do not forget, and it lives in my head rent-free, bugging me like, you were supposed to do that. You were supposed to do that.
I replayed Resident Evil 5 for a podcast last year, and it sucks worse.
I remember
than
that.
Remember.
It sucks. Is it as bad as Resident Evil 6?
What's that?
Is it as bad as Resident Evil 6?
You can't compare Resident Evil 5's problem to Resident Evil 6 problems. They both have their own individual issues.
They're both completely differently bad games. Resident Evil 6 is stupid. I would prefer Resident Evil 6 over 5, but it's so long. It's 3 times longer than a Resident Evil game should be.
5 or 6.
6 is.
That's fair. Yeah, that's it.
5 is just bad.
Like Resident Evil 6, and it's getting off topic. Like Resident Evil 6 is literally it's an incoherent mess.
Yeah.
There's parts of that game where it just has these massive jump cuts with no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Like, oh, we're here now.
The individual parts of Resident Evil 6 are good, but when they smash them together like that, it makes a mess, and it's also so long, so you're like burned out by the end of it. But
Look,
Shadows of Mordor is not like that.
No, it's short.
Exactly. Yeah.
I give Resident Evil 6 a very hard pass because that game confirms Chris Redfield is in fact gay. But speaking of gay, that dwarf guy was hot as fuck.
Are you into short kings there, Joe?
No, I'm into tall men and women. It's really concerning. I'm 5'8".
Not concerning.
I'm a short king.
Okay, I was just curious. Yeah, no, I understand the tall part.
Buff men.
So when we
Anyways,
play,
what was talking about?
Resident Evil 8 day 1, huh? For no reason at all.
Oh, I told everyone. They know about my kinks. Anyways.
Might have been talked about in this podcast too. But so, in this game, the dwarf was cool. I mean, his purpose seemed irrelevant. He's like, I'll teach you how to ride a beast there.
Yeah, he existed for all of the missions I did with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, he has a whole DLC, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, he has that whole DLC, but like I said, I booted it up for less than 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, and then I never did.
Joe, did you ever play Enslaved, Shadow, or Journey to the West?
No, but my husband loves that game, so I know about it.
Really good game.
It looks like him.
Yeah.
The protagonist looks like him. Yeah.
Yeah. Short, stout man with hair combed back because 360 graphics.
Yep.
Enslaved way better.
And also with a monkey face.
Oh, yeah.
I want to replay Enslaved for this podcast. It's one of those short games that I have looked to at some point. There's a few. Enslaved, Vanquish, Bayonetta 2, maybe. There's a few.
Vanquish rocks.
I know, it was supposed to be on.
So good.
So, at some point. I mean, I could care less about the story. Like, for this, wasn't playing for the story. Like, I thought I would be more interested because I like Lord of the Rings stuff. I like the world, but I found out I didn't give a shit at all in this game. I just killed things and tried to get through the game. I feel it hurt the game for me, this is a really stupid me issue, because it showed me how many missions were in the game. I don't know why, but I didn't like seeing that. I would have rather not known, even though I would have DGN'd and it would have told me, but I would have rather had that than the game show me. I don't know why. Again, I don't have an answer for this.
I think it's fine.
I'm with you on that the story doesn't matter, and I forget who said it earlier, but I'm with them for the reason stated that you already know what happens after this, so you know who's going to live through it, and it doesn't matter. So, like, I was playing for how the game played, which I enjoyed. I think the gameplay is like Batman but worse, but it's better than a lot of those Batman but worse games.
He's out of line, but he's right. Yeah, I mean, I could feel the Batman DNA all over this game.
Yeah, well, that it was the time. Plus,
also, another Warner Brothers game.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It was a Warner Brothers game, so they knew how to make that sort of thing.
Remember when Warner Brothers used to make games?
Yeah.
Well, they still do. They're just terrible now.
It's okay. I'll feel better. I'll feel better when that Dick Grayson, Jason Todd Robin movie comes out. Also, I know they probably planned for it, even though I guess they didn't, because that proves it. Bold move to end your game on a cliffhanger.
What was the cliffhanger?
They're gonna go make another ring.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Does that tell you how much I didn't pay attention?
It's a little hard to understand. I get it.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me. I thought it was just me.
Yeah, like because that's Celebrimbor's whole character, which if I recall plays no part in the actual Lord of the Rings books.
No, his character is completely different in the books. I mean, completely different. Also, his fate is way worse in the books too.
What is his fate in the books?
So he still gets tricked by Sauron to make the One Ring, and then after he makes it, Sauron kills him, takes his body, and makes a flag out of it, and then has it in front of his army when they march to go fight the elves as a giant middle finger to them.
Holy shit.
Okay, you're right. That is worse.
Pretty metal.
That is pretty metal.
but I mean, in terms of the actual lore of Lord of the Rings, like Celebrimbor, like it's literally just, oh yeah, he's the guy who made the rings. That's the only contribution he actually has to the lore.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
Yeah.
opposed to this, where he's like a superhero, and you see him like put the ring on and fucking
that never
fight with an
happens.
army.
Yeah, he's not that cool at all.
Well, and one of the DLCs is like you play as him before he became the ghost.
It's
Where he-
kind of cool, but there's no slowdown with the bow, which took me out of the game instantly.
But yes, because they actually explained that. But also, it's so funny in that. This is one of the reasons why I spent less than 5 minutes on DLC, because they're like, oh, he has a special like ring time thing, and it's the exact same as Talion's special mode, except it has a filter.
That's weird.
Like it's literally the same, and I'm like, wow, this not even any. It just has a filter. That's all.
Yeah, I didn't mess with it. I tried, but it's hard to play him if you can't get the ring power to work.
Yeah, well, like the DLCs. The reason why I turned them off so quick was because the main game, I enjoyed like going out, getting XP, and like leveling up and unlocking new stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then the DLC, they just go, actually, everything is unlocked. So as soon as I go in, I'm like, oh, so I'm just going to be doing more of the same. But what's the point then? You know, if I'm not like progressing either through levels or something, you just want me to just go around and do this stuff because you think it's cool. Well,
The point
It's
was
not
to give
that cool.
WB more money with using assets they already had.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why like both of them, I'm just like, oh, it's just doing more of what I did in the main game, but there's actually less because I can't just go and get experience and get more abilities or something. So I was like, this is pointless. I'm done.
Yeah, DLC can be very hit and miss for games, but for me too. I skip a lot.
Oh, and there's some weird like arena mode that I never booted up once.
That's fair. I was in an arena mode once in the game. Oh, did anybody do those side missions for like the bow, the dagger, and the sword?
I did a couple of them.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I did all the bow ones because I got obsessed with the bow in this game.
The bow was fun in this. I'll give it that too.
Yeah.
I did not get a reward that I wanted. I don't even remember what I got, but I don't think it was anything that really mattered other
I
than
think it's just a bunch of coins, isn't it? Or whatever they call
and
their
an
coins.
achievement. I got an achievement. I thought I'd get like some cool ability with the bow for like, showing that you mastered the bow, and I just remember being upset. But I think you're right. I think it was just money.
Yeah, because that's the whole point is to get the money to like unlock extra rune slots and unlock some of your upgrades, which you don't need to worry about it.
No, it was stupid. It upset me. I tried the dagger, I tried the sword missions, but those were hard. I mean, I was doing these early in the game when I should not have been messing with them. But that's just how I play open world games. I like to do side stuff before I get... My whole thing is that I want to do side stuff before I get upset with the game. And then I get to the point where I just do the main mission to beat the game. Because that's always going to happen at some point. And I'm going to force myself to finish a game, but I won't do side stuff when I get to that attitude.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. I think him having like a half broken sword is really cool to use as a dagger.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even realize the guy was making a new ring because, like, you can't. That doesn't work.
I think from what I kind of skimmed the second game a little bit, it looks like the whole point for the second game is that they realized making a second ring was a bad idea. So, and like I said, I was not paying attention. I skimmed through it. I'm like, so there's a sequel. Let me see what the sequel does. All I know is the sequel also leaves off on a cliffhanger because this was supposed to be a trilogy, but Warner Brothers can't do shit for fuck, so that never came out. I jinxed myself as Summer Games Fest announces the last one this week.
I don't think you have to worry about that. Zaslav is not in the business of spending money to make money. He's in the business of charging people for Macs and taking off content so he spends a little bit less.
I hate that guy so fucking much.
And that's one of those CEOs is like, man, you are just you're ruining stuff I like.
All CEOs. That's what they all do.
Yeah, I know. But he's one that has upset me more than once. But no, none of them have affected me. I am curious about Shadow War. I don't know if it will be when it will be on the show. I don't know if I care enough to find out, but I'm a little curious. This only happened because last year we did a year in gaming episode and Colby brought up that this was 10 years old. And I went, oh, I should play that next year. That's how this happened.
Yeah, we couldn't have played it on the 10-year anniversary. That would have been too convenient.
To be fair, it was like November. We recorded that, and these schedules are written in way advance for no real reason.
Yeah, it was nice to like play this again a little bit. I didn't like when I played this when I played it the second time, when I played it on PlayStation 4, I did a lot of this game. And this time I just like played through and I'm like, doing the combat and I'm doing this and I'm like, all right, yeah, this game, it still holds up as far as how it feels. Cause there's a lot of games that even in like Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, like last 2 generations, like, I don't know, they feel worse when you play them now. They feel clunky, but this one, it's still so smooth. Like, it feels really good to run around. It feels really good to do the stealth. I think the stealth is really good in this game. I am a stealth player. So if there's, I'm one of those that I'll restart a mission if I get seen before I kill everybody from the bushes or the shadows or whatever. And I think it works really well. I think like the open combat is really good.
No, that's fair.
This game's really cool.
Yeah,
This is a stealth game.
Yeah, and with the stealth, it's actually touched on probably one of my favorite things with the game, because it was always fun to do, is when you unlock that terrorize ability, and then you sneak up to an orc and you use it, and it does that whole animation, and then the other orcs freak out around him. For some reason, that just never got old.
Yeah,
it was like, always fun to do that.
It's like the berserk darts in the Assassin's Creed game, going back to Assassin's Creed, because this is very Assassin's Creed.
Oh god, yeah.
Berserk darts are my favorite thing to use in Assassin's Creed.
If I would have looked up and saw this game was made by Ubisoft, I wouldn't have been surprised at all.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised at all.
I thought it was at one point.
Yeah, like climbing towers to open the map, or I'm playing something else at the same time. Does this do that? I don't remember.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. They're like towers of light, but it's literally it's the same. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. I'm playing something else right now, like at the same time as I was playing this. And I tend to get stuff mixed up. Like, I've been on this podcast before and I've said something and I'm like, that's from the other game you're playing, you idiot, when I listen to
it. Hey, don't feel bad. I'm pretty sure I've done it too. That's why I have I play so many games that sometimes it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, and you play more games than I do, but like, yeah, if I'm playing, like, if for some reason I always play the same things, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Why don't I play, Ghosts of Tsushima at the same time as I'm playing Shadows of Mordor? Just because, that's what I'm in the mood to play.
Okay, that I don't do. I have a rule of thumb where I try to stay away from stuff that's too close together.
Let me play Salt and Sanctuary and what's that bug thing that I didn't like nearly as much as Salt and Sanctuary?
Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight, yeah. I played Hollow Knight and Salt and Sanctuary at the same time too. That was also a mistake.
That sounds crazy.
You gotta I have to play games that are different enough. I cannot play games that are too, like, when I rate the schedule, I try not to do any of the same genre right after each other. I try to switch up the genres so I don't get burned out and angry.
Yeah. You're smarter than I am when it comes to games then.
I mean, I
don't know. I've heard Mike talk about him playing games, and I've never heard of anyone having this many issues playing games.
Normally I don't. This wasn't it. This was a weird one. Like, the amount of Steam issues I had, that is not normal for me.
Oh, yeah, the technical issues. I thought
oh, you mean the issues I had with the combat?
The issues you have playing games wrong.
Oh, no, that's just me.
Yes.
That's just me. I mean...
Are you sure you're not just like a QA tester and you're not telling us something?
I mean, yes, if I am, I'm not getting paid for it, I can tell you that much.
I was testing this game that came out in 2013, and I noticed that if you don't use runes, then the bosses are really hard in this Castlevania game.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
No. See, Mike has that thing where he's doing something for, like, that he loves doing, which is obviously the podcast. So it's like a weird curse kind of thing. I say, as there's like a YouTuber that I watch that does that. Hopefully everyone's familiar with the infamous Silent Hill 2 hallway scene in the original Silent Hill 2 where Pyramid Head takes you down a hallway. Mm-hmm. He is the first person ever to get a glitch where Pyramid Head gets stuck in that hallway. They have no idea how he did it, but he did it while live on Twitch. So it happens. Shit happens while you're performing.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
I found some interesting stuff in games, and
I'm just I'm waiting for the time you're like, I was gonna play this game, but then my house caught on fire and I couldn't finish it.
I feel like I would still play the game. I have went through other life ordeals, and I still play the games.
Either that, you'd be like, well, my house caught on fire, and I had to go live in a motel. So I tried playing the game in the motel room, and then the motel room caught on fire.
And then I died, and now I'm just like I'm my
I legally died
got uploaded into the internet, and now I'm an AI, but I'm
just
still
like
Mike Albertin.
Man,
he's like,
I would.
No, he's just like, I legally died for 5 minutes, and then they restarted my heart.
I'm back here. Hey, I have made it. It's a pact that I will continue making this podcast until I cannot, or I get bored of it. I don't think that'll happen. But who knows? But no, that's my whole thought pattern. It's like, hey, if I died, I might never be famous, but hey, there'll be over thousands upon thousands hours of my voice on the internet somewhere. So hey, it's one of my thought prep. Anything else to say about Shadow of Mordor? Since I feel like we're talking about death, we're running out of things to say. It's usually a good sign that it's time.
It's an open world game.
They're hard to talk about.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Nemesis system or the interesting combat or the fact that some of the combat is locked behind, like you guys were talking about, it takes a long time to unlock some of the stuff, but I think that makes it more playable than something where you unlock everything right away and then you're not working towards anything. Like it's drip feeding you the rewards instead of just giving you all of the rewards at first.
I don't mind that normally, but the issue for me with this is that without the reward, it's like you're playing with half a controller because the game is just not balanced.
See, I'm against that way of thinking because, like I said, I didn't even use most of the stuff that got unlocked later because I think the combat, once you get used to it, like flows so well, and it's not that the game's not like super hard, but it's not also super like it's not like crazy easy.
No, it's not.
But the combat is balanced in a way that you can do it. Like if you're paying attention and if you jive with that kind of combat, you don't need most of that stuff that gets unlocked later. It makes it easier, sure. But the combat, I think, is so good that you don't need it.
Joseph, do you have anything? Because you were kind of in the same boat I was.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've kind of covered all the complaints I've had with this. Yeah, or issues.
Trying to get you back me up with my opinion didn't work.
No,
Yes.
I mean, I can totally see if you're looking to play a different way. But I'm not like, oh, yeah, I'm just better at video games. I just mean that the core combat is easily learnable enough.
It is.
And effective enough that if you like that kind of combat, that's really all you need. Like you're not going to be necessarily jonesing to unlock the next thing because like you're getting through the encounters because the combat, like the core combat, is solid.
Oh, and I should mention that this game crashed for me almost every hour.
So what you're saying is play it on a console where it didn't crash at all.
Yes.
The 2 times that I played.
Yeah, because I also played it on my PC. I didn't have a single issue either. So
I don't know. I play PC. I mean, this is a pretty new PC. Like it runs stuff just fine. I don't know what it was with this game.
it's probably
it was
something with the
weird.
settings or something.
I had it on low settings.
Or maybe you're just cursed.
That's how it felt. I felt like I was cursed by One Ring to rule them all. I really did for this. This one did feel like a cursed game. Like the amount of issues I had on Steam Deck trying to get this to run, issues I had like I was telling you about the download issues. Like, Mike, it was ridiculous. Like it just kept crashing my internet constantly on my PC. It was the weirdest thing. No, I had a terrible time trying to get this fucking game to run. All right, I think we should go to questions, comments, and memories. Let me put down the other game that's just going to play itself right next to me while I get gold. I followed what you told me to a long time, Colby. A long time ago, Vampire Survivors. When I'm doing other stuff, I just get it to that point and just let it play itself while I wait.
Oh yeah, Vampire Survivors rocks. See our episode on Vampire Survivors.
I'm there.
Joe's there.
Damn game. All right. First from I Walked the Entire... Oh, so we're going to go questions, comments, and memories. First from the I Walked the Entire Overblood Super Replay from Daniel Melman, friend of the show. The emergent storytelling system they implemented is fantastic and makes the world feel personalized and dynamic. They also patented it, defying any ability that system had to make an impact on the game industry. How does one even make money off such a thing? This is simply a corporate decision driving something that should have been amazing for the art form into the ground senselessly.
That's capitalism, baby.
It's also dumb CEOs.
Yeah, that's capitalism, baby. Weren't you listening?
Yeah. It is stupid, though. Like, why did they... You shouldn't be allowed to copyright gameplay mechanics like that.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. Because
Didn't Nintendo copyright something stupid recently, too?
Nintendo copy
Pokemon.
Don't get me started on
and then-
Nintendo.
No, the
yeah,
most
Pokemon.
famous one is Bandai Namco copyrighted like mini games on loading screens for the longest time.
That just shouldn't be allowed. That's not an IP. That's not like you created something. You just went, hey, I had this idea. That's like me saying, I had this idea that I drive to work every day. So I patent it, so now no one can drive to work but me. Like, that's not how that works.
No,
that
the
new
difference
Black Panther game. Go ahead.
Copyright is like an idea or like a new thing. A patent is a process. So you wouldn't patent you driving to work. You could patent the process of you getting to and fro work, but you would not just patent.
It's
going
still
to work.
stupid.
It's very stupid.
That's what I mean. Like, it just shouldn't be allowed.
Apparently, EA's Black Panther game was going to use some sort of variation on the Nemesis system, but they decided to cancel that too. So,
How does that make sense for companies to spend all those millions of dollars and just go, nah, we're done? Like, does it? I don't understand that concept.
Well, I mean,
I'm not a CEO though. I run a podcast.
there's all sorts of things that happen. If you want some interesting reads into how corporate culture works, you should look up some of the history of Microsoft.
I thought you were going to say interesting weed. I was like, I could get behind.
No, fortunately, no. But yeah, like the history of Microsoft and like its internal workings, that will give you a lot of insight into how a lot of those decisions most likely happen.
All right, from Ken Pittman. I wish I had known about the second half of the game when it first came out instead of waiting a couple years later. It being more than just the gray, lifeless, stone-filled areas. All the trailers and screenshots didn't do it much justice. That's a very true statement, I feel. From Casey Heacock, friend of the show. I wish I liked this game more. As a fan of Assassin's Creed and Lord of the Rings, it didn't do much for me. The Nemesis system is neat, but it doesn't really feel like Lord of the Rings to me at all. And Talion is up there for the most generic protags of all time. Crazy how the dude is fused with a major lore character and still barely feels like he had a presence.
True.
See, my problem with that is trying to claim that Celebrimbor is a major lore character, because he's not.
But he made the one ring to ruin them all. I thought that was Sauron that did that, but hey.
He forged it, but it's like, okay. Like, okay, so he was the guy who, he's literally a footnote.
But remember, it's not the guy who forged it. It's the guy that owns the company that hired you to forge it. That's the guy that really created it. It's like when you create a car company, it's not about the guys that created the electric car company. No, about the guy that bought the electric car company. He's the genius. That's how that works. And no, he's not a genius. But, all right. And then from Autumn Severe, like what I played off of it well enough, but never finished or even got too far into it, honestly. PC died in the storm. I never bothered again after that. On my next PC, probably should have gotten it off my backlog ages ago. Yeah, it's worth. I mean, I've complained, but it's still worth playing. I will say that. So, and then,
like it goes on sale all the time.
Oh god,
like the game of the year version that has everything. So you just wait till it's like $10, and then you just buy it and you get everything.
I paid $5 or $3. I did not pay much for this.
Yeah, it's not. It goes on sale all the time.
Yeah, it's regularly $5.
I mean,
I'm on PlayStation Plus right now. I know Shadows of War is. I think Mordor is too.
I'm pretty sure I got this in a bundle, like a Fanatical or Steam or a humble bundle thing at some point.
It just shows up in your library after you buy enough games.
It's also on Epic too. I'm pretty sure. If you're like me and grab every Epic game, you have both of these easy. They've been on Epic 2 for free multiple times.
Yeah, it's like that second Rayman game, Rayman Legends. I don't know how, but I have like 9 copies of that game. And I don't remember ever buying it. So yeah, it just some games just show up.
I mean, I have 7 or 8 copies of Resident Evil 4.
Too many copies of Resident Evil 4.
I did buy
or not enough. I guess it depends on your take on it.
I have beat 5 or 6 of those. I beat almost every one of those copies I bought. So that's a whole nother conversation. All right, from the official Laser Time community, from Paul Duffy. I had a nemesis who found me, just looked at me, chattered his teeth together, then said buttons. That was awesome. What the fuck?
Another fun thing we could talk about is how the orcs in this game all have the Cockney British accents.
I didn't think
They do
about
that.
that.
I think that's,
Yeah, they do. It's such a weird thing.
They do, in fact, have British accents.
Yeah.
I think that's normal in fantasy and sci-fi for some reason.
Oh no. Well, I mean, if you want to get into
British is,
sci-fi, there's actually a very specific reference for where that comes from, and that's from Warhammer 40,000. But it's just weird to see the thing. It's just weird to see that thing on like, oh yeah, here's orcs, and they just sound like Cockney British guys.
Fair enough.
Spice Marines.
I mean, you just say like Talion instead, and it's basically the same.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should mention because I forgot. Saruman is mentioned in this game too. He apparently possesses that woman at one point. That was Saruman, but they couldn't do anything with him because he can't die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's-
Funny.
oh yeah, her thing where like yes, it's that old lady in the chair, right?
Yeah, and she
she's like-
got possessed by Saruman. I guess I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and she's like, my mom is sick and old, and oh yeah, by the way, she can use magic, and it's like, oh wow, that would be like a big deal in Lord of the Rings world. Oh, she's better now. It was Saruman. Okay.
It's weird to me. Like, why are you using characters that make up new characters because we already know the characters aren't going to die that are, well, I mean, to be fair, you'd run into the same issue because you would know that this character you've never heard before is not going to survive. So,
Yeah, like I said, it's just like
Prequelitis.
because of the timeline in which the story takes place, you're like practically by its own definition, nothing of consequence can happen because we know what happens later.
yes. The problem when you make prequels. So, people can figure out, well, that guy can't die because he's in the later movie or series, so we know he's going to make it. Like, yeah, they're difficult to do. All right, and I do have a few more to read from the group. This is a longer one. From Travis Haley. I adore both this game and Shadow War, even though the combat systems were very reminiscent of the Arkham games. I remember struggling with it at first and kind of fell off playing it for a while. I think I was trying to play as a Batman game instead of meeting the game where it was. Yeah, I was doing the same thing, I think. After a short break, I came back to it and took the time to learn the combat, and it finally clicked with me. I remember being in awe of some of the combos you could string together. The phrase "seen through the Matrix" comes to mind. The other major memory I have with this game is there was an online component to the Nemesis system that would give you quests when your friends were killed by an enemy in the game, and it would allow you to avenge your friend's death by killing the Uruk who took them out. My friend Derek, who also played the game, passed away in 2016. I booted the game up a few months after he died and found the quest Avenge Derek's Death. Not the escapism I had in mind for a video game. I left the quest untouched until I completed the game, and the last thing I did was kill the bastard that took my friend's digital life. It was symbolic and a little silly, but it felt patriotic. Good game.
Aw.
That's
That's
like
That's
really nice. That's a really nice story.
It
like
is.
not nice that, but people die and that sucks. But like to be able to have some sort of closure with something even as like inconsequential as a video game thing, like that's a really nice thing to have.
It's cool to have that. It also reminded me of that one story I heard where the guy found his father's ghost on a racing game years later. But that's
Oh, he didn't beat it.
one of those stories. Those are always sweet stuff. Like, I mean, people are, like Colby said, people are going to die. Like, it's life. I mean, but to have the moment that, like, you don't expect. You're like, oh. So, that's sweet. All right. And then from David Cleveland. It didn't, contrary to popular opinion, its sequel are up there among my favorite games, and so far that I triple dipped on buying them. Granted, only once at full price when they were new, then when they went on sale on platforms I didn't previously buy it on. I know how that from Alan Lawrence Matthews.
Yeah,
I really
do
enjoyed
that.
this game. When it was released, the Arkham combat combined with the Nemesis system really clicked with me. I recently bought a Steam Deck and have been chipping away at the sequel. The basic mechanics are the same. They hold up well 10 years later. Fair. Right, and from the last group, Lord of the Rings fan club, I got one from Andre Sprick. Good video game. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
you know what? Did he do video game as one or two words?
2 words.
Oh, 3. He could have shortened it to 2.
Yeah, I was hoping from.
Hey, sometimes that's all you have to say. Good video game. I
Good
would say
video game.
that sums this up. It's a good video game.
It is.
Yeah.
It's better when your PC doesn't crash it and you don't get really, really mad at your computer because it won't download over the course of 2 days and you're just pissed off because your dog died the couple days, like a week before, and you just want to play a game. Other than that, yeah, good experience.
So, I mean, so you could listen to 5 people talk about it for an hour and a half. Or you could just read this guy's. I'm glad that this is coming at the end because we could have, this could have been a pointless podcast because to sum it up, good video game.
Good video game.
It's neat.
But the point of a podcast is to occupy your time while you're at work or something else.
I know. I'm just
You're not wrong.
I sound like I'm making fun of this guy, but I'm really not because
No, I know you're not.
This is that's the absolute best description I've heard for this. It's a good video game.
Oh, I should give away a code. I forgot. I do that every week. Because if I didn't, what would I do with all these random codes I get?
You could give them to your friends.
Or your cat.
I don't think my cat would care, but I give them to the listeners, which are my friends.
Oh,
and
boy.
Some of the people that redeem it is actually one of the guys in the Discord. He redeems it because every so often I'm like, hey, it didn't work. I'm like, here's the picture of the code. So, yes. Here, your Steam code is Thief of Thieves. Whatever the fuck this is. The Steam code is BYT76II9DZNTEHH. That is your Steam code for Thief of Thieves, whatever the fuck that is.
Thief of Thieves.
Something like that. I have no idea. I've never even heard of it. I own it because I have an issue where I buy bundles of games. I even bought a bundle once for $1 just so I could have codes to give away on this podcast.
It has a style to it. I can't tell you what it's about, but it looks like it's like comic book sort of art.
Does it show anyone stealing anything?
It shows big areas where it looks like you probably go around and don't get caught stealing stuff, but it looks really cool. I don't know how it plays. I don't know if it's fun, but I can tell you one thing. It looks really cool.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are games that aren't fun, but they look cool and it works. Oh, and we should say that these are not orcs, these are urukai, but I did not feel like saying urukai this entire episode. So
no, that's
whatever.
No, the game actually has both orcs and urukai.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, that tells me about Lord of the Rings.
That's actually a little bit of a subplot in the game with how the urukai are starting to supplant the regular orcs.
Oh,
because there's that one little dude that they use to have you yeah, he's an orc. He is not an urukai.
Okay.
Yeah, the orcs are smaller.
Aren't the urukai the ones that Saruman dug out of the ground?
He's the one. Yeah, well, he makes them in the pits, and they're they're bigger and meaner and better soldiers. But then the orcs are smaller and also mean.
Oh, okay. There's your Lord of the Rings reference that people wanted. I was like, someone's probably upset that I keep saying that, so I thought we'd correct ourselves before the episode ended. All right, we should go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joseph Larrey, why don't you lead us in?
I am going to put this in the stack. Like we said, it is a good game. I personally didn't really care for the Nemesis system, though, but I think the combat's there, especially when you get the branding, it really starts opening up the game quite a bit. And I think it's a good game, and looking forward to trying out the sequel whenever we get around to that.
Maybe next year, maybe. I don't know. I'm not that excited. And the other Joe.
I also put this on the stack. I had a good time with it when I played it. Same thing that Joseph said. I had a good time. Nemesis system wasn't a fan. I'm hoping maybe they fix some of it in the sequel. I'm excited to see what kind of changes they made. But I had a pretty okay time with what I had.
All right. I bet they fix it in the third game. Wink, wink. When we get that. Hey, depending, I might be right at some point. You never know. I have predicted things on this podcast before by accident.
No, they'll make a Lord of the Rings game, but it'll be a live service game because that works so well with Suicide Squad.
No, they did that in Shadow of War.
Yeah, I know they did with the. Yeah,
it's a live. They were trying to make a live service game again.
To beat Shadow of War, like the final mission, you could pay like $10 to just unlock it, or you would have to spend hours grinding to unlock it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a little bit of a scandal at the time, where if I recall, basically the devs for Shadow of War, they made the game the way they wanted, and then very late in development, execs came down and said, "Hey, this needs to have a bunch of microtransactions and all this stuff added," and so all of the monetization in that game is just like really like bad and like in your face about it, because it's stuff like. You can buy like Nemesis to have in your game and like different items. Yeah,
that's
to be fair, they have removed that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. They did wind up removing it like when the eventually, because I think it was either when they were getting ready to lay people off or something going on, but they eventually just went back through and and got rid of all that and like adjusted everything to not require tons of grinding.
I hate fucking I will always understand corporations got to make money. I get it, but there's a level of making money that like you don't. I think I should just make a soundboard of capitalism, baby, of Colby saying that and just play it all the time. Should make a soundboard. All right, and Ron, what about you? Shelf, stack, or box?
I'll probably go with stack as well. It's a decent game. It was fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed it when I played it. But it was great when it was just like, hey, I can hop on, do some stuff, and just work my way through it. So something good time waster.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna put this in the stack. Also, I had a good time. I mean, there were things I didn't like, and I got irritated with this game, and I swore at it a bunch. But I'm glad I played it. It's off my backlog, and it's been on there for fucking a decade. So hey, cool experience. And now there's 2 Lord of the Ring games on this podcast, technically. So hey, there's that too now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a list. That means yeah, which means nothing to anybody but the guy who has Abbey Word files for any time he does 2 games that can fit together, makes a little list. Yes. And Colby, what about you?
You know what? I'm gonna put this on the stack too. I
Sweep.
think it's a really good game. I think it's a good. Hey, not since Joe Butler's review of Suicide Squad, which was, and I quote, "I would rather shoot myself in my own butt than play any more of this." Has there been a review that I resonated with quite as much as good video game? And that's what it is. It's a good video game, and I think people should play it, but I don't know that it's, one of those games that you're going to keep playing over and over again.
You don't need to play games over and over again, I don't think.
No.
I mean, I guess that's maybe that, when you're a kid and you don't have money.
Yeah, Bloodborne's the only game you have to play over and over again.
I should really stop doing these high. I forget all the shit I say. I have to re-listen to them.
Hey, it's okay. You make some good comments. I love it. It's okay. Look at the bright side. It's forever in audio.
I'm just waiting for the day. I'm just waiting for the day that Mike finds Balatro and.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Oh yeah,
I don't have it. So.
We already
and then we can just have. And then we just have a 6-hour podcast where we all just play Balatro in the background and pretend like we're paying attention.
Yeah.
So we're also all fucking passing a joint around, talking about ideas on what to do. I still haven't beaten that goddamn game.
Balatro?
Yes.
I think I need. How do you beat it? How do you beat Balatro?
Yeah, I mean, technically beating it is just like you get through the. No, you just technically you beat it by just getting through ante 8. That's considered beating a run of the game. It takes like half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah, I've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I still haven't eat my ass.
If we
look at Vampire Survivors. It took me a long time to. Well, I mean that you actually have credits when you beat a certain Reaper boss.
I'm gonna say if we ever all get together in the same physical space, it should be passing a joint around and doing an episode on Balatro and eating Joe Butler's ass.
I'm okay with 3 of the 4 things. So hey, I mean,
I'll take care of that.
I can go buy some land up north in northern Minnesota. We can build a big warehouse, start hoarding a bunch of guns, and see what happens. And threaten the ATF.
Yeah,
hey, it works. I got glasses. I can grow my hair a little bit longer. Start a little cult.
Play the guitar.
We can have GMMFC, Games My Mom Found Con.
I mean,
I love it.
I actually have thought about getting a booth at cons, but I am nowhere near big enough to care.
Look, it's our favorite mascot. It's like a mascot costume, but it's just Kevin Sanity with a big anime head, and he's got 2 guns.
I have wanted, if I had an artist that was still had the show kind of stayed the way it was, yeah, there would have been stuff like that.
I don't know. If you're gonna get a booth at a con,
you gotta have merch.
It just needs to be like you like have your logo, and then the booth is really plain, and then it's just you in a nicely pressed suit.
I don't own a suit. I don't even own nice shirts anymore.
Oh, you see, it's part of the booth. You would buy the suit, and you would just be a happy guy selling his merch.
I want to put the giant Ken Sanity mascot head on with the trench coat and the fingerless gloves. I feel like he wears fingerless gloves.
I mean, let's pull up. Sure. Look, I Ken Sanity. Yep, he was wearing fingerless gloves when I met him.
Hell yeah.
And then we
Nailed it.
And then I buy 5 of them, and then we also get Ken, and then we go rob a bank like the opening of fucking Saints Row 3.
or we all get Ken Sanity giant mascot heads, and then we go to his house and scare the ever-loving shit out of him.
He might shoot us.
I think he has guns. Can't remember.
I'm not willing to see if he does or not.
Oh.
Then one of you
I know what city he lives in, sort of, but that's about it.
One of you guys gonna have to explain to my husband why I got a katana through my chest. Anyway,
Nope.
Because you were living with a Red Ranger.
Someone's just got to drop off his delivery of fingerless gloves. That's all.
I hope Ken listens to this episode. I really do.
I'm gonna tell him too.
All right, I should know what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about Sly 3. Honor Among Thieves, I think is what it's called. I don't remember. But that will be next week's episode. Stay tuned for that.
That's not Butler.
No, Butler's not happening.
I can't stop thinking about the five of us with Ken Sanity costumes on.
I wish I was drunk or high right now. I am neither. Unfortunately, I am mostly sober now in my life, so which is a good thing. Sometimes I should try. I think about getting edibles every time, Joe, that we record together. I'm like, man, there's a store not that far away from me. It's legal here. I should buy them again. I just don't do it.
I have to.
I feel so weird.
I have to remind you whenever we do the fucking, what is it called? The My Friendly Neighbor one.
My Friendly Neighborhood I was supposed to do last year. Yeah, that game.
Yeah, they're doing this year, probably for sure. Yeah.
Hopefully. On my list to get to before Spooktober because I said I'd do it last year. Too many fucking lists.
Is that the one with the Muppets?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You could do an episode where you just go over your favorite lists. It'd be fantastic.
I used to make top 10s. I don't anymore.
I have like literally a Google Doc full of just numbered lists of stuff that
Perfect.
I like.
I mean, to be honest, I bet people would actually listen to that. That might do better in a lot of my episodes.
We can
do a tier list of your lists. It would be great.
I mean, people would listen to it.
Let's see. What are my top lists?
All right, we should go to plugs. Colby, where can people find you at?
You can find me at in a alternate dimension, Reading, Ohio, on my scripted comedy absurdist podcast, Jack Billings Presents. The third season is going now. It's King of the Big House. We're all in prison. You can go back if you like that one and listen to Haunted Apartment Complex, where I'm a ghost. And then Me and My Neighbor Michael, where it's just weird. Or if you like the show JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you can join me and my podcast soulmate B talking about the show JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on This Bizarre Adventure.
What episode are you on currently as of the recording of this podcast, Mr. Michael Colby?
The episode that just came out as of this recording was the second part of Darby the Gambler.
Oh,
where we played 3 hands of cards for 30 minutes.
That's a good arc. That's like the best arc of that whole season.
It's really good, but it's really hard to talk about. The episodes are really good, but they're really hard to talk about.
Not simple. Everyone needs to learn how to lie harder. You can get away with a lot of things if you just lie hard enough. Anyways.
I mean, all you got to do is just put words that make no sense next to each other, like enormous and big and huge, and then that's how you do it.
That doesn't actually work this day. Never mind. Don't lie hard. You lie hard enough, you become a really bad president. Anyways,
if you live long enough, you see yourself become the villain, right? Like that.
I don't think he was ever a good person, but that's.
I mean, in his head, he is, and some people think. But hey, that's another story. Anyone else anything to plug? I can't remember. I don't think so. I do, but. Okay, I'll plug the other stuff. If you enjoyed this episode, over 800 other episodes of this podcast. We do video games, comics, TV shows, movies, all sorts of content. Normally, we don't record at midnight. You can hear everything that we do on Podbean. You can type in search bar and find all our content. If you want to support the show, we do a Patreon with a little diary vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show that I will get to, it only takes me a few years. We have a Discord. You can lurk. I don't care. I'm happy, but that's where I ask for people to join the show. So if you are like, hey, I want to be on Games on Mom Phone, I want to do that. Hey, please join the Discord. I'm always happy, and I literally will take almost anybody. As long as you can figure out how to work a microphone or a headset, I'll make it work. So
it's a real challenge sometimes.
Hey, it has been for some people and me.
It is for. That's why I don't have guests on my podcasts.
It became a thing, and it's the show now. So, and also the only way when you can to produce 3 to 4 episodes a week and not burn out everybody is to have a rotating cast of like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, and want to give a shout out my awesome intro and outro courtesy Helena at Hell Hasfree. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Don't forget to go check her out and check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. I'm sure he's talking Final Fantasy. And check out absolutely the best podcast of Work in Progress. He talks MCU movies and MCU adjacent movie. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, TikTok, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. Please helps out the algorithm. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, Nara.